Have you ever felt like you're fighting a battle with yourself? Like there are these two totally opposing forces inside just pulling you in different directions. One side of you wants to be patient and kind and just good. And then there's this other part that's, well, quick to anger, maybe a little arrogant. Okay, so let's get into this. Because that internal struggle, it's a completely universal human experience.
And that really is the central question, isn't it? I mean, we can build skyscrapers, solve mind-bending equations, create breathtaking art, but somehow mastering our own impulses, our own inner world, can feel like the toughest challenge of all. Today, we're going to explore a really fascinating way to understand this internal battle, and it comes from Islamic tradition.
So our whole journey today starts with one single powerful word, nafs. Now, you might have heard this term before, and honestly, it often comes with some pretty negative baggage, but we're about to challenge that whole idea.
Yeah, that's the common take, that the nafs is this bad, evil part of us that we're supposed to just crush and destroy. But what if I told you that's not even close to the full story? What if the nafs is actually the very key to our spiritual growth? To really get it, we have to understand something huge. Our soul isn't born evil. It's born with a choice, a fundamental duality baked right in. Let's take a look at where we come from.
So this is absolutely crucial. The nafs is, for all intents and purposes, you. It's your consciousness, your self, your soul. And here's the kicker. At its creation, it's completely neutral. It's like a blank slate, but a very, very special one. And why is it so special? Because this blank slate was immediately given two built-in opposing potentials. You can almost think of it like a battery. You've got the positive terminal and the negative terminal. You need both for the thing to even work.
Okay, now this slide is so interesting because look at where these potentials come from. On one side, you've got taqwa. This is your connection to the divine, right? All the good stuff, patience, honesty, humility. It's that higher self voice. But then on the other side, you have fujur. And this comes from our physical earthly body. It's the raw data of being human. Anger, desire, arrogance. Now, it's not inherently evil, but it's that inclination towards wrongdoing if you just let it run wild.
So if we start out neutral, how in the world do we end up with this commanding, negative ego that seems to be running the show half the time? Let's actually break down how that happens. It's a surprisingly simple three-step process. First, you've got the physical body, our clay, which brings those earthly inclinations, the fujur. Then, the divine soul, the ruh, is breathed into that form, and it brings along all those divine qualities of taqwa. The second those two combine, boom, the nafs is born, this perfect, incredible blend of heaven and earth, of spirit and matter.
And here we are at the million-dollar question, right? If the whole system is designed this way, with both potentials, what's the thing that tips the scale? What turns our neutral nafs into this negative, bossy force? And this formula just lays it out perfectly. The nafs, on its own, is neutral. But when it gets provoked by an outside influence, what the source material calls Satan's whispers or su'a, that's when our negative fujr potential gets turned way up. That whisper is what validates the anger. It encourages the arrogance. And just like that, your nafs becomes nafsu'a, the commanding ego that is now pushing you hard to act on those lower impulses. Okay, so that's the problem. But the beautiful thing is, the system also comes with a built-in solution. This isn't about some hopeless, endless battle. It's about a clear, powerful strategy for mastering yourself.
And that strategy is called tazkiyah. And honestly, this is a total game changer. The source uses this perfect analogy. When your clothes get dirty, you don't throw away the clothes, right? No, you wash the dirt off. Tazkiyah is exactly that. It's the process of washing your soul. You're not trying to get rid of your ability to feel anger. You're trying to purify how you respond to it.
And here is the core insight that changes everything. Fujur isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature. Its entire purpose is to be a catalyst, a trigger to bring out the taqwa. Think about it. You can't practice patience in a total vacuum. You need that trigger of frustration or anger to consciously choose to be patient. That little flare-up of arrogance, that's your cue, your golden opportunity to practice humility. The negative feeling is literally designed to make the positive quality emerge.
So how do you actually do this when you're in the heat of the moment? Well, the source gives us this incredibly powerful, practical toolkit. 3 mental checks to just run through your head before you act on that negative impulse. First, will this, in the end, bring me humiliation? Second,
How is this going to affect the people I love, my parents, my partner, my kids? And third, the ultimate check. Is this the action I want to be doing if this is my very last moment on Earth?
No, look, we're all human. We are absolutely going to fail these checks sometimes. We're going to get angry, we're going to make mistakes. But the system has this beautiful safety net built right in for when we do. And that safety net is tauba, or repentance. It literally means to return. And it's not about shame or wallowing in guilt. It's a course correction. It's just recognizing you've stepped off the path and making that conscious decision to turn back. It's considered a fundamental expression of divine mercy. And this quote from the source really just captures the whole spirit of this idea. I mean, let that sink in for a second. The journey of self-correction, of admitting you messed up and trying to be better, is actually more beloved than just being in a state of self-righteousness. It values growth so much more than perfection. So in the end, it all comes down to this. Every single day, every single moment, you have these two potentials living inside you, that earthly pull and that divine spirit. The battle is real, for sure, but you are not powerless in it. The choice of which one you're going to nourish, which one you're going to act on, that choice is always, always yours.